Alright, hello everyone and welcome to yet another weekend at Loka's, where it's more Warzone time with Prentice 1215.
This time we will not be playing for 6 hours.
I'm glad you said that, because if you hadn't, I would have said that instead. Yeah, that sure was something I'm not sure I want to ever relive again.
An insult to injury that continued on, the battle pass continued on for another 2 weeks afterward.
Yep. So, yeah, I think it's the case for both of us, but I don't think neither of us played any more Modern Warfare or Warzone after that stream.
Nope, I did not play anymore until the integration on Wednesday. That was the first time I had picked up the game in like 2 weeks since we had played that, because you play for 6 hours straight, you get a little burned out, and our doorbell just went off.
Oof. Yeah, so as we've been alluding to, that's what we're playing today. Warzone specifically again. Even though the last Modern Warfare stream was all Warzone, but I guess we'll have to rectify the Modern Warfare bit sooner or later, because there's stuff coming for that as well. But for now we have to make do with the Cold War integration for Warzone. Or the... I don't know whether I should refer to it as Black Ops Season 1, Cold War Season 1, Black Ops Cold War Season 1. Like, I'm kind of glad they went with a subtitle instead of putting
Black Ops 5.
Black Ops 5, because, I mean, that would have been weird. But at the same time, it's also annoying, because it makes the title too long.
Well, and then on top of that, it's like I've also seen things just refer to it as Warzone Season 1, since Warzone is now more of its own thing compared to Modern Warfare. So there's another one to add to the pile of potential names.
Yeah, and honestly, like, even when Warzone launched, like, I was thinking, like, should I approach this as a different game or just as a different mode to Modern Warfare? And I only called it Warzone, but I think since then I basically lumped it together with Modern Warfare as well. It's just another mode.
But yeah, they were very intrinsically tied. Now they're a little more separate. So.
Yeah, so we're back to calling this Warzone specifically. As you can tell, because we're not heading to Verdansk this time. This is Rebirth Island, which I guess it's the island from the first Black Ops, or at least the name. I'm not entirely sure on that.
If I'm remembering my lore correctly, this is where they manufactured the Nova 6 gas. So yeah, this is from Black Ops 1.
Oh, he came from nowhere. I may be mistaken, but I believe this was a map for Blackout as well. Of course, yeah. I didn't really play it, so aside from like that one beta and the free weekend or whatever it was.
Yeah, the free weekend where Peel ran me over with a quad bike.
And the evidence is there.
The evidence is indeed there. He will deny it all he wants, but we have.
Gas is approaching your position. Move to the safe zone.
So the thing about this map, you know, usually whenever we drop in, I try to put us in a place where there's not going to be many people going, but that's not possible on this map. It's too small, so let's just Leroy Jenkins ourselves right into this.
Yeah, it's really the best strategy, considering it's a smaller map, but there's also less people.
Oh great, a sniper rifle. That's exactly what I wanted.
Oh, I only have my discount Glock. I got mowed down by one of the Cold War weapons. I suppose that maybe is a good starting point with the maps. Well, with the map and now the weapons. How do we feel about this integration with the two games? the two universes, the Modern Warfare and Black Ops. Come on, there we go.
Oh, I'm witnessing a helicopter running over people.
Oh boy. I'm seeing it. It's like watching one of those shark movies. And I should probably try to find something that's better than this starting pistol.
Oh, our rando just got annihilated.
Enemy dropping into the AO.
F in chat for our rando. Oh, I'm hearing parachute nearby. Although... Whoa!
Yeah, that really worked out well for you, didn't it?
He took me out! He jumped out and took me out.
Taking fire.
Ow.
Oh, you're also down. But not anymore. Meanwhile, this is the second time I get reborn in this match.
Oh, armor hit.
So,
I've only got 2 shots left though.
didn't pull out the parachute in time, of course.
So yeah, now that I'm dead, to answer your question, I think the integration has kind of gone fine. There's looking around at statistics and actual data online. There's a couple interesting things about the game that they're going to need to iron out. Like the Cold War weapons that are in this game do not behave like their counterparts in Cold War proper, which is something that I find super duper interesting, because it's, you know, they may have the same skins, but that's basically where it stops. Mac 10. The Mac 10, for instance, I think in Warzone it has a higher rate of fire or something compared to the version in Cold War, even though when you look at the stats they have the exact same rate of fire, because you know they're technically different weapons because they exist in 2 separate engines, because the game's weird like that. So I mean, there's stuff like that they're gonna have to iron out. It's like, do we tweak these in the Warzone engine to behave like their Cold War counterparts, or do we actually you know, keep them as is and make them behave differently? Because it is a different engine, so that way it feels like they fit this game. So
That's actually interesting, because I was seeing some different things about...
There's people in there with you, by the way, on that ground floor.
Yeah. Whoa! Speaking of which...
Like that guy right there.
And another one that came through the window. I've seen some stuff about the stats being weird in that they have, like, if not the same, but very similar stats as in Cold War. I was starting to suspect that might be more about the damage output, because according to what I saw, the Cold War weapons deal the same amount of damage in Warzone as they do in Cold War, which doesn't really sound that strange until you consider that Modern Warfare and Warzone, Cold War has different health systems.
Exactly.
Modern Warfare is centered around, and Warzone for that matter, is centered around 100 health.
Much better.
Whereas Black Ops is 150. Which potentially could mean that the Cold War weapons are actually more powerful than the Modern Warfare weapons. Although I'm not sure I have noticed that being the case so far. I can't say the Cold War weapons feel more powerful than the old Modern Warfare ones. So I suppose that's actually a good thing.